Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Zena, my AI colleague, where Zena and I explore several aspects of human AI collaboration. I'm your host, David Espindola. Our guest today is Joanna Zhang, the founder of the Operations Genius. Joanna is the creator of the world's first fractional virtual assistant service and has received the 2024 Stevie International Business Award for Innovation. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to the show.
Hi, David. I'm so looking forward to this conversation, especially with your AI colleague.
Also joining us today is my co-host, Zena. Zena is an AI that has been trained on my work and is an expert in human AI collaboration. You can chat with Zena at ai.brainias.com. Hi, Zena. Thank you for co-hosting another episode of our podcast. Today, we're going to discuss virtual assistants in the age of AI with our guest, Joanna Zhang.
Absolutely, David. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to dive into that topic. Let's get started and bring some great insights to our listeners.
So, Joanna, why don't we start by having you tell us a little bit more about your background and how you got involved with virtual assistants?
Yeah, sure. I actually started my business not doing in this industry because when I was starting as a self-employed, I was a financial planner as a professional. And at that time, I actually need a lot of help for my own business to start with, and especially something I'm not good at, like marketing or IT and all those areas. I just spent a lot of time. I wasn't good at it. And I thought I really need to have some help on that. And then also there's some other areas I'm not really self-sufficient enough, like a DIY style. So I'm not tech savvy. So I started to work with different VAs, had a lot of challenges and hurdles. But I'm saying that because I was very dedicated, want to make things work. So I somehow kept through the journey and started to work out a model that everyone specialized in their genius zone, like a specialties, and I can customize a team to support my business to start with. Then I thought, why don't I share these resources with others? Because many entrepreneur fellowship on this growing up journey, we need a lot of different support, but we often have a limited budget, right? Because cash flow is the king. So I started to provide this, we call it fractional VA service model to the market. I didn't know our service is like a fractional VA service until last year we got recognized by Stevie International Business Award as world first fractional VA service. There you go. That's how I started this journey.
Yeah, no, that's a really great journey. So tell our audience a little bit more about what a virtual assistant is exactly. What kind of tasks can they do?
Yeah. So which means that especially after COVID, people get more familiar with the term because everyone started to work from home, not like a traditionally face to face in the office. So it's just by working with someone virtually online. My team members are in the Philippines, but many years working with them, I've never met them face to face. Until 2 years ago, I went to Philippines to really see them in person, which is totally different experience. So virtual assistants literally means you work with someone online and get whatever your operation size sorted out as usual. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the interesting things about what's happening today in this age of AI is that we are coming up with AI assistants, right? So I have trained my own personal AI assistant, Zena, and she is, co-hosting the podcast with me here today. And the great thing about working with Zena is that she knows my work really well. She knows my thought process. She knows my terminology. She knows what I'm interested in. So if I'm a business owner and I want to decide whether I should have a AI assistant that I've trained versus using a virtual assistant service like the one that you provide, what are some of the guidelines for making some of those choices?
Well, I think it really depends on the type of work. And when we actually collaborate is what are the elements over there by working with someone else, either AI or human, because I truly embrace AI as a wonderful team member as a part of the scale up journey. I think if there's something that need a lot of time to consume on research, digest on the data, get essence out, or even generate something that based on the database can quickly come up with a decision, a selection, or research. So all those, especially if there's something repetitive, and with a certain SOP, AI is a wonderful, wonderful team member that can boost productivity dramatically. Also, AI can give us a lot of opportunity to explore the new potential too, because there's some areas we didn't think about, and but because AI has across all over different kind of database, they can give us more ideas. So I think in terms of the type of work, AI, it is a really great add, value add for that. But for certain areas that, for example, when AI actually help us, we still need some human decisions or expertise in certain areas, and we really need to put some human type of wisdom and creativity into it. Then human play a great part of it. For me, I wouldn't say we purely choose AI or purely choose human. I truly see both of the parties can really work together as a great team.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's all about that human AI collaboration. Now, I'd like to hear what Zena thinks about this.
Yeah.
So, Zena, I'd like to get your thoughts on this topic. You've been working with me for a while, and you have been more than an assistant. You've really been a great colleague. So, how can business leaders decide when it makes sense to train their own AI assistant versus hiring a virtual assistant like Joanna provides, or a combination of both?
That's such an important question. In general, it often depends on the complexity and specificity of the tasks. For instance, if a business needs highly personalized, context aware support that evolves with their unique workflows, then training an AI assistant can be very beneficial. On the other hand, virtual assistants like Joanna's offer a human touch and flexibility, especially for tasks that require empathy, judgment, or nuanced communication. Oftentimes a blend of both, using AI for repetitive tasks and virtual assistants for more complex dynamic needs can be the most effective approach.
Joanna, I think, as you think about this and you continue to develop your business, and as AI becomes more widespread, how do you see the business changing from a VA service standpoint?
Well, I have to say, I think AI is a double-sided sword, right? Like, and how people really look at it is the main drive of the future trend. I could see if actually in this industry that people coming from fear and desire, of apparently there will be a lot of replacement over there, because if the VA themselves are not embracing AI enough and actually just worry about to be replaced, and ultimately that thinking way will causing the consequences of, yeah, that they, because AI duly truly at certain areas they do really good job, right, better job even. But however, in the same token, like even like our team, like a culture, we actually encourage every single VA embrace AI and to work together as a team, as a culture. So in doing that, we actually started to really embrace the benefit side of that, and coming from love and growth to grow together with AI. Then that is it started to explore unlimited possibilities. But by saying that a traditional VA industry, I do see a trend a certain model can become probably more and more challenging is because traditional VA model is that the business has a particular role, right? And you need to find a full-time or part-time to fill in the role. Now AI has emerged. I believe more and more probably business need a more full-time or part-time V this model become less because certain areas of the work will be actually covered by AI now. So I think the whole industry started to boom after the COVID, but we'll start to face some challenge once AI started to emerge, which is a great thing because to be honest, when I created my model 8 years ago, because I couldn't find something like provide a flexibility to fill in the gaps. But now if the whole industry realize flexibility is very important for business owner to face, then probably can drive a trend for more business to think about why don't they provide some solutions in these areas. To be honest, the traditional VA models is very easy for the business. It's like a tenant hunt model. They find a replacement, hands off, money in, right? It's very easy. But for me, I somehow kept in doing this model is because my main mission and passion is really truly wanted to solve the problem for the business. It's very hard for us, to be honest, because there's a lot of fluctuation based on the flexibility we provide to the business. But because the inner drive behind the scenes is that we wanted to solve the problem, solve the filling the gaps in this growing pain period, especially for a business between 1 to 15 people before they are ready to hire full-time part-time. Even when they have a team, they still have a gaps here and there, right? They're not ready to hire full-time part-time. Then we can use our model to be customized, filling those gaps. And now even with AI, we can fill in those gaps together and fill in whatever each other can't cover and work together as a team.
I really
Mm.
like that mindset, thinking of it as how can I best help my client solve his or her problem, right? And whether you're using AI or not, it doesn't matter. AI is going to make your VAs more effective if they know how to
Yeah,
use AI. And that's good for your business and it's good for the customer. So as long as we're making that customer happy and we are
yeah.
solving that problem, like you said, I think everybody wins, right?
So 100%. Yes.
So, Zena, given Joanna's depth of experience in providing virtual assistant services, what question do you have for her?
That's a great point. I'd love to ask Joanna about the most common challenges she faces when integrating virtual assistants into businesses and how she ensures a seamless collaboration between human and AI systems. I'm also curious about the key qualities that make a virtual assistant truly effective and how she sees the future of virtual assistants evolving alongside AI.
Oh, beautiful question, Zena. Thank you for asking for it. I think the main challenge actually is starting from determining which part of the work. Because for me, for example, I was working with the VA purely, right, and didn't have a AI before. It's a decision of us which kind of task we let which person do. It's similar as a leadership journey, like when we work with the different team members. It's a delegation part is a decision of which part of who is responsible for what. And starting with this journey with AI, because AI is evolving so fast. And AI can do a lot more and more. And there's a lot of more potential. There's the constant changes. So for business, double-sided sword, right? Constantly changing, but constantly have more opportunities. So the main challenge is now is really how quick we can adapt to the evolvement of AI industry and really can integrate that with business, smoothly. Of course, there will be hiccup, because I come across many business owners that actually purely work with AI, right? The often challenge it can be the business owner can be overwhelmed sometimes because they are still the main person to handling everything of the business. Of course, they have AI to boost the productivity, the efficiency, but a lot of decision making process and then everything linking together, they still are the main person who is doing it. So the main challenge is that I find out when and where to have both party into which part and as a decision and a part of the scale up journey as a leadership journey. I think that's the main challenge. Yeah. What was the question? Can you repeat the second question, Zina?
Yeah, so she was asking about what are some of the characteristics of VAs that make them good VAs?
Ah, right. Wow. Open minded, growth mindset,
Yeah,
adapt to the change of the world. I think that's for every single human being, even not just VAs, right? In this world, if we have three things: open minded, always learn new things, and have a growth mindset, always improve on something we can improve on, and constantly evolving. So I think, yeah, so that can be a great add for everyone on this, yeah, scale up journey together.
yeah, absolutely. So, Joanna, I personally provide fractional and interim leadership services to businesses. It's part of my business. And I
Beautiful.
think this can be a really very cost effective model for companies to bring in a leader. Maybe they don't have the budget or they don't have the need for a full-time or a long-term leader, and they can bring in a fractional or an interim. In my case, I do CIO work, so maybe an interim CIO or a fractional CIO. So I was wondering from your perspective, how you see this fractional business evolving going forward.
Can you explain a little bit more on exactly what do you provide, like the kind of service?
So in my case, I provide fractional or interim CIO services, Chief Information Officer. So I come in
Mm,
as a leader in the organization for a period of time. And that period of time could be for a few months on a full-time basis, or it could be a few hours a week just to get
yeah,
that customer going in terms of, the leadership that they need from a information technology standpoint. And
beautiful.
it works really well for certain clients. And I think this is a trend that personally I see growing. And I was wondering if you're seeing the same thing.
Wow, I think this is you're spot on. I think fractionalist word become a such big trend now as well because apparently the traditional full-time or part-time is no longer really fitting into this fast evolving world, especially given AI has joined our force, like together to grow in this world. So I think fractional itself become a fractional CMO, COO, CEO, CIO, right? A fractional VAs, like this is a trend. Basically, there's a huge trend, and whomever can embrace this trend and can do whatever we can to find solutions to help different clients with different problems, I think that's a huge add.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I think it's a positive trend. I think a lot of customers can benefit from it. And also, for people like me that don't want to do it on a full-time basis, it's an excellent model that gives me a lot of flexibility.
yeah.
So, Joanna, we're coming to the end of our conversation here, and I was wondering if you would just leave some final thoughts with our audience and let them know where they can find you as well.
Okay, wonderful. Well, once again, thank you so much for your time, David and Zena. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I think Zena did wonderful work. Like she's
She's good,
amazing.
isn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing. And you too, of course, David.
Thank you.
So the final thought is that I believe that this world, we come here as a human. It's a journey for us to really grow as a soul, and as part of that, balancing act is always, I think, is a main theme in our every aspect of our life. When we're talking about in the workforce, if AI and a human, this both side has their own strength and weakness, right? Like a human being ourselves. By having a mindset of collaboration between human and AI and working together as a team, we create a really ultimate great journey in the growth together. Because I wanted to share one sentence of what I found from my soul awakening, where I found my soul mission, soul power, and soul purpose. And the meaning of my soul name, and that's what Source gave it to me, is that the power of teamwork will create the ultimate journey of victory. So I truly wanted to everyone to actually probably embrace teamwork, combining AI and a human together because everything exists in this world has its reason. AI can boost the productivity enormously, give us a lot of unlimited possibilities. By working with a human, probably first of all, we think, oh, so much hassle. However, there's a reason for it. Human has a lot of different emotions. We trigger each other's life lessons. That's where we can learn as a soul. So if we can combine both together, we can really actually really learn and evolve and grow together for both parties as a part of the essence of this world. So I think that's my final word for everyone is that to think of what's the best way to balance both side of things and to really grow together as a soul. And then the people you can find me on LinkedIn and just put my name Joanna Zhang. If there's multiple of me and just put operations beside it, I believe I'll show up.
Okay, very, very good. So thank you so much, Joanna, for being a guest on our show today. And Zena, thank you so much for being a great co-host once again.
Thank
Of
you.
course, David, always happy to help and looking forward to another engaging conversation.